to another episode of the Lawn Care Leaders Podcast. I am here with my good friend, Zachary Miller of Intentional Growth Advisors with another growth segment of the week. How you doing, Zach?
Hey, I'm doing great. Great to be here with this community of business leaders out in the trenches, making their businesses roll.
I can feel it today, Zach. They are crushing it. I just know. I just have a feeling that our listeners are out there hustling, grinding, getting it done, and increasing profit margins. So on margins, that's the topic I want to hover around. Let's build the campfire, pull up a log, Zach, put a marshmallow on, and let's light some profit margins on fire. Let's just start off. What does margins mean?
Yeah, as owners, I'm sure you guys hear this term thrown around all the time by your businessy accounting folks. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. Some of you may not be. But at its most basic level, profit margin is simply the revenue you have left over after all of your expenses. So it's what you're making, it's what you're taking home at the end of the day after you've paid everything. That's your profit margin.
Good. All right. What's the difference, between gross margins and net margins? Those get thrown around very frequently. Explain that for us.
Yeah, great question. So your gross margin is basically all of your it's your revenue minus all of your operating expenses. So this really analyzes like the operating efficiency of your business. This does not include your marketing expenses or your office salaries. This is basically the expenses you pay for your materials and for your labor out there in the field making your money. Whereas your net profit margin is the money left over after all of your expenses.
Okay. And is the gross margins, that's where you get your cost of goods sold number from?
That is correct. You're starting with revenue. You're taking out your cost of goods sold, which is everything you need to bring your customers that service. And that gets you to your gross profit and your gross margin.
Okay. And so as a business owner, let's say I'm doing $500,000 to $1 million in top line revenue. What should I be looking at more? Should I be more focused on gross margins or net margins?
Yeah, from what I've seen working with businesses, I think first and foremost, you need to be concerned about your gross margin, because if you have really low gross margins, you probably shouldn't be in the business to begin with, and you probably shouldn't be worried about your net profit margin, because that's just your overhead. So until you can get strong gross margins, say somewhere at least above 15-20%, you really need to be focused in on how you can improve your operating efficiencies, or otherwise it's probably going to be tough to compete in this business.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. And I do know, businesses that have sold around here, they have super strong net margins, and those ones that go for high multiples, very, very strong, predictable, repeatable cash flow that produces high net margins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll jump in real quick. Potential buyers, net profit margin is a metric they are most certainly going to be concerned about, because they want to understand if this business is operating efficiently or not. You may have all of the revenue in the world, but if your net profit percentage is, under 5%, then you're basically making no money. You're just working for nothing. You're wasting resources. So potential buyers and owners as well, you guys want to see those strong net profit margins so that you're getting a good return on your assets and that you're making money on your revenue.
Good stuff.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in here real quick and say thanks for listening, and also wanted to ask a huge favor of you. If at any point in these shows you found it entertaining, you found value, it's helped you in any form or fashion, we would, love to know that and love to know how we're helping you and how we can help you more. But we'd also like to see if we could have you share the podcast. The main way that people hear about us is through referrals on social media, and people just like you literally just sharing the link or screenshotting an episode that was one of their favorites, sharing it with a buddy. So I was going to ask you right now, if you could just take 10 seconds, stop what you're doing, screenshot this, share it with somebody, a business owner, a competitor, somebody running a lawn care company that is doing big things and could get value from this, we'll put the link to this in the show notes. And if you're on Apple or Spotify, they make it super easy to share. Just hit the arrow or the 3 dots, usually in the top right corner, and you can share that through text message. So thank you guys again for listening, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Stuff. What about, people that want to scale, that want to grow?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to have to sacrifice margins? Talk about kind of the mindset behind quick growth and how to maintain those margins and not have margin creep, as you called it.
Mm-hmm. This is something that also comes down to owner philosophy. Are you an owner that is wanting to grab some market share and willing to sacrifice some of your margins, or are you someone who you want to grow? And when I say grow, I mean increase your revenue, bring on new customers. Are you someone who wants to grow and keep your profit margin steady? And if you're the latter, if you're someone who is wanting to, like we were at Green Again, and as IGA worked with you, you kind of sat down and had this goal of revenue, and you said, I want to increase and reach this goal, but at the same time, I want to keep my profit margin strong. How do I do that?
Yes.
So you sit down, and that takes a lot of hustling, because you're going to have to bring in revenue. You're going to have to hire new people. You're going to have to get some new equipment, and you still have to find a way to bring in these new people, to train them quickly so that they can operate efficiently, and that you can keep those margins strong.
Yep, that's great. That's great. And to get a little high level here, business owners, they have to know their why. Do you want to increase personal profits? Do you want to scale? Do you want to build this thing slowly and debt-free? How do you personally want to grow it, and what is best for your family, your needs, and where you've got to know, where do I want to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and build towards that, and figure out a way how much profit margin do I need to hit the 2-year mark, the 5-year mark, so on and so forth. I want to wrap this up here with one practical strategy that I believe any business owner from 1 to 5 years, and a lot of them can do it above that, but you get into more overhead and recurring costs. But if you have just started a business, or you're at the 5-year mark, I believe taking this approach of peaks in income. So Brooke and I sat down and we're like, oh, hey, we're living off of this much, and Green Again is living off of this much. What if we just take all the peaks in income, swipe it right off the table, put it into a bucket? I believe if you want to increase profit margins by the end of the year, this is one of the easiest ways to do it. Your business is already surviving off of, let's say, $4,000 per month. And hey, I've got recurring revenue from mowing, I've got recurring revenue from maintenance jobs, irrigation, whatever it may be. Whenever you have those seasonality spikes, as we all do in this industry, swipe that extra income off the table, allocate money obviously for taxes. Outside of that, put it into a profit bucket. Let that thing be something that fuels reinvestments, new marketing strategies, and your winter fund. And I think that's just something practical that our listeners can do today to increase profit margins.
Mm-hmm. Very, very well said. And the action steps, like we've done with some of our clients, is literally setting up cash accounts with those names, keeping it simple.
Yep.
Winter fund, profit margin. And as you said, run your percentages. Say, I want to pull 20% off the top, everything, put it in my savings account, and that's going to be my profit margin. And so as your money comes in, you're putting it aside and you're building that discipline as you go.
That's great. That's great. Well, Zach, appreciate you joining us on another segment, the growth segment of the week. Where can people, if they want to further the conversation and chat with you and pick your brain a little more, where can they reach you at?
Yeah, for sure. So you can go to our website at intentionalgrowthadvisors.com. There should be some good information on there for you. Or you can also reach out via email, intentionalgrowthadvisors@gmail.com, and we will get back with you. We're always willing to set up a call, chat about your business. The chat is completely free. We love to learn more about businesses in the lawn care industry. We're always looking to partner up and help you grow your business. So
love it. Love it. Appreciate you being on the show, Zach, and we will chat with you again next week.
All right. Thank you for your time, Britt. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.